Hello, everybody. Karen Hinkle Romando, Kara's Green Country here. Part 2 of my resin tray. Now, yeah, part 1 had me Mod Podging, and this is what happened. All right, now, as you could see, part 1 was a little bit bubbly. The paper was a little bit bubbly, so I used a spatula and the spatula and pushed it in. It was still bubbly. Then I took this and then I did this to it, okay, with Mod Podge on the surface, and then I placed the piece of paper over it, and then I Mod Podged over it, and then that's what I did, was spread it out so it'll reduce the bubbles. And there were just bubbles like crazy going through here. And I remember you have to go watch the part 1 of my, the first part of me doing this. Well, when it dried the next day, I have no bubbles except for those right here and the sides, which will be hiding with this, and it's going to be so pretty. But right now, okay, Let's Resin. I won a giveaway that I signed up for, and I had presented my table that I displayed at the museum nearby me for the holiday craft show, or the holiday bazaar, I mean. And I had a bunch of these made. I had bookmarks made out of resin, and I had a fun time making those. Did I sell them? Well, let's put it this way. The holiday bazaar is always slow over there at the museum. So, I had a lot of lookers, but out by me, it's like people are just, it's a different world. It's country, it's rural. They probably don't have enough money, but I'm not going to sell myself short either, because the product costs, the time costs to make the product, and I'm really reasonable with my prices. So, this is what I'm trying to hide, is the bubbling that was created. I forgot whether I mixed this with Let's Resin epoxy, but part of this is Let's Resin. This was like around my first time creating trays, so I can see the other trays I never had a problem with, and I used Let's Resin two-part epoxy, or was it UV? I didn't do two-part epoxy yet, I don't think. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a two-part epoxy. But anyway, some of the trays were done with UV, some of them were done with Let's Resin two-part epoxy. And this one, I don't know what I did with it, but anyway, I decided to cover it with the nice flashy paper. And I'm going to show you now. I'm going to unbox this beautiful acrylic marker set that I won. And it's like around a $35 value. I might be raising it a couple of dollars. Depends where you buy it from. But Let's Resin has it like for 33 something. So with tax and everything, I would say 35. Around 35. So let's open this baby up and see what kind of markers are to decorate my tray with. Okay. Let's see. I guess I need a different thing. We'll go with scissors. Just breaking open the seal. This will be exciting. Oops. There are a lot of colors in this kit. Sorry for the angle, but I would love to show you what I'm doing right here. So I don't care about my head. Anyway, I didn't ruin the box. I might scratch it a little bit by doing that. Oh, here are the colors. Right on the back of the box are all the colors. Check that out. All the colors that are in this box. And there are, let's see, 72 colors. So, let's get the sleeve off here. I'm excited. Can't you tell? This is going to last me a long time. And I'm hooked on resin art, especially UV. I'm just totally hooked on it. And there was other pieces I made with the UV resin. But they're in a box. Let's see. They're in a box down on the floor over there with my other art supplies. I'll be right back because I want to experiment with this and those little pieces I made. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm just around in the background. And let's see. This is going to be awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Hopefully, let's see. I know exactly where they're at, but let's see. Guess I don't have them in here. Oh well. They're not in here. They might be out in my van still in another box, so well. It is what it is. Alright. I am going to stop this video. I'm not going to exit so I can continue and not make a part 3 out of this. I'll be right back. Okay, hold on. Okay, everybody, I am back. I found them. So, first I want to experiment with the small stuff. If you don't know what to do with the markers and how they work, I start small and experiment, okay? And that's what I'm going to do because I don't know what this is going to be like. Let's see. All right, that's okay. So, oh, there it is. Okay. So I have to, there's little tapes right there. And I gotta, sorry for the shakiness. It's my nerves in my arms from my shoulders. And I don't know what's going on. I know it's nerves. Anyway, here we go. Pick that cover up. There we go. Okay. Nothing's on the inside of the cover. You get your color acrylic swatch thingamajiggy. You make your own swatches. Put your own colors from each marker, and you match the number up over here to the number. What color do I want to use though? Oh my. I want a gold. I'm going for a gold right now. So this looks to be a pink. That looks to be a pink. But as you can see those numbers right there? All right, you take that number and then you find that number on this card right here. And then looks like 286. Let's see. 480. Wait a minute. 488. So I will be looking for 488 somewhere around here. They looks like they don't go in order. So you would have, that's really interesting. 488. 488, where are you? Huh. Oh, there it is. Right here. That's 488. And then, actually, it's up here. All right, so make sure you don't mark them wrong because the numbers are underneath the square that it's supposed to be. And so what you do, shake it up a tiny, just in case. Don't lose your spot. And then you start painting the square. And it looks to be really applying really nicely on the square. And that's a hint of pink. And that's a very hint of pink. I like that color. But with me, people are ask me, what's my favorite color? I say all colors. Because I really like working with graphic arts and crafts in the world of color. So that's like my little, intro about what I like to do. It's still wet. We're going to let that dry. I'm looking for a gold, somewhat of a gold, to paint on the edge right here, right around here. Not an orange, but in between a yellow and a gold. So I'm wondering if we have a gold somewhere. Let's see if they got names on these. Of the colors. See a name of the color. They're tiny print on the side. So, with that being said, I gotta get my little lamp because my lighting, I don't have my above light on. It's a yellow light. And what I suggest is the whiter the light, the better. Okay? And so I'm going to get my little light here. The more white light, the better, okay? It has something to do with the K, the lumens, not as much as the lumens, but the K factor in the white light. It's hard to explain, but I like white light. I need to be accurate. Okay, let's plug this baby in. I love this light. Even though the plastic pops off, I have it secured with tape. And okay, let's see. All right, that was definitely pink I picked up again. That's a peach down below. I love this. Oh my gosh, these are pretty colors. That's like a peachy yellow though. Don't want a peachy yellow. Ooh. Well, a yellow. Here's a yellow. That might work. Now, these are like this because it fits easier in the box. That's why they did it that way. It fits so much easier in the box. Aha! I found something that'll work. Here. Oh, wow. There's so many. All right. This yellow, I don't want to do that yellow. I'm going to possibly do this yellow. Number 618. I could do a green, but no, not that green. That'll look really bad. Wow. This is so interesting. The colors are spectacular in these. If only I could show you what it actually looks like. These are, oh my God. I am going to be playing a lot with these. Oh, the colors are magnificent. They're so pretty. An orange might work. That orange might work for me. Wow. Nothing's at the bottom of the box. Okay. And see, here we go. Here's something. That's a beige though. All right. So, I don't really see gold, but this is all focused on Let's Resin. All right. So, that I am going to, wow, this is wow. So, oops, something fell. My hair's getting in the way. That's not going to work. I want something really nice and bright. Green, I don't know about that green. Let's see, my hair's getting so in the way. Let's see. Right. All right. I wanted a bright green. Right now, I'm not seeing the green I want. Right now, This is amazing. These are neon colors too. Oh boy. This is... Alright. We gotta... Oh, maybe that's the green one I was looking for. Let's see. That's the green I was looking for. Okay. Alright. So we're all done with picking out my colors out for right now. And I know I will be needing more because of what's in this container. For right now, we'll stick with this. All right, this is one. All right, see, this is. See, this does not rub off on the paper. It's not rubbing off on the paper. Okay. Now, my box of goodies. I've got to show you first. This is a lot that I did. All right, that's what the turtle. I was thinking of making necklaces eventually with these, or keychain. They turned out really good, really pretty. And I think, okay, they don't have a texture on them. I don't see an indentation of where I can color them. This is from a different mold though, but I did use UV resin. Let's resin, UV resin. Look at that flower. Isn't that gorgeous? And I added my own alcohol ink. Oh, this is alcohol ink and glitter I had mixed into there. Now, I never did resin before. This is all UV resin, and I was just experimenting. Isn't that pretty? Here's a little piece of an earring. Okay. And that's with the blue, with some glitter I mixed in with it. And I had I'm having a fun time doing all this stuff. It's an addiction. In there. I don't know if the light's hitting it too good. But look at how that detail of that rose. These are from candy molds, this one. All right. The roses are from the candy molds that I bought. Pretty. It turned out so pretty. So pretty. Here's some more examples. Pieces I made for jewelry. All right. Here's a blue one. Now that's a pretty blue one. I was inspired around before Christmas time to make something Christmassy. All right. These are just plain, like medallions with a little hole up here to create an earring. This, I don't know what happened, but it's still soft. It's a fail. It's got bubbles, maybe. Oh, this was a different resin I was using. I was using Mod Podge 2-part resin. I will never, ever buy that again. Just saying. I didn't like it. It didn't mix well. I I don't know what happened, but I didn't like it. It didn't sit well at all. That's why this is pliable and soft. And it was a hard resin. Um, this is my first experiment on a bookmark. And that, I think, this was not UV resin from Let's Resin. Oh, this was an experiment. This is UV resin by Let's Resin, but this was my mistake. I had Sizzix embellishments. So I forgot what I put in here. I think there's a, let's see. I think this might have the gold mixed in with the resin, but this is from glitter embellishments that I got from Sizzix, and I experimented with that. And I don't think I'm going to do that again because some of this glitter kind of, you could feel the texture from the glitter. Let's see. That, I forgot what that piece was for, but that was a fail. With that being said, I think I will use this as just an experimental piece right now. Because it is a dark piece. And I'll use this as an experiment as well with the green. I'm going to get out a blue. So we'll see. We'll still use these colors. And I'm going to get out a blue and black. You can't do black on dark. So I will I'm not going to do a black. White, I might do white because it'll create a nice, pretty contrast. I don't want to ruin these roses because they turned out actually really good. You know, for embellishments on a card or some of this has some overhang. Wait a minute, might not have, well, there goes that rose. I thought I had an overhang. And this is another Let's Resin mold. Look at how pretty that turned out. Very pretty. These, no, I'm going to have to sand down the edges here. Be careful of the edges because sometimes they'll cut you. If you're not careful. Let's see. Here's the other bookmark. It looks kind of fluid because it was probably drying and I moved it, and you get that fluid look. That turned out really nifty. Some of these, I call this my sample box / little piece box that I'm going to use. Oh, here's another one. that I used to glitter. And that turned out really nice and clear. And here's one I did with orange, an orange alcohol ink. Let's see. All right, so we got all of our little pieces here that we're going to experiment with first. Okay. All right, now I gotta get the markers I'm gonna use. I'm definitely gonna apply and find the numbers on here to mark them down with. I put it, I'm not doing the turtles yet in those jewelry pieces because I don't know if I want to put anything else on them. All right, get our box back out of goodies, marker goodies. And let's see what colors I would like to use. Let's see, for this, ooh, that'll work out. Oops, I'll show you when I turn off the light. That'll work out perfect. That one. Let's see. And I'm looking for something for the blue. Something for the blue. Not that one. That one's too light. And a nice blue. I don't know what I want. I get confused. Let's see what I want. Okay. Let's see. There's a white somewhere accessible. Well, I do find a black, but we're not. I don't know about the black. I said I wasn't going to use the black. I might use the black for writing a name or a letter on this. All right. So that would be good. That would be really good. Let's see. Oh, that's a gray. They give you a gray. They give you every color under the rainbow. Wow. I'm looking. Oh, there's the white. There it is. I want to use that for the rose. Okay. I was looking for that white. Okay. All right. Okay, I'll shut this off. And I'll show you because you could better see it from here. This is the color I'm going to use for this rose. Just doing something artsy-fartsy with it since it got damaged here. You know, I don't know what happened when I did the mold. It's not two pieces either together. It's like it created a bubble of some kind. And this is the white for the rose, or this thing, this little piece of rose that didn't turn out right. And then I'm going to use a black on this one. So, and then I'm going to choose one of these colors for the tray. Okay, Now, these are things that didn't work for me. So this is just an experiment. And I'm going to, let's see. Okay. All right. Now, a design. I could very well do a design. But I would need my ruler, and I don't know where my ruler is. Wait a minute. Maybe it's in this bag. Hmm. Nope. Okay. So, all right. There it is. Okay. All right. So the instructions, let's see. There were none. But you could go on to www.letsresin.com. And then they also are on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Okay? If you want, you can email them at help@letsresin.com. All right? Now we're going to try and find this color, 611, and the swatch chart. I'm going to first do my swatching before I apply it to my bookmark. So 611 is all the way over here. Make sure it works. And it works. All right. I never created a swatch chart before in my life. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. This is going to be drying. Okay. Now, we will make a border, top and bottom. Okay. This is the bottom right here. And I will show you after I'm done what it looks like. Let's do a little bit in case something happens to where I don't get the line straight enough. Now I'm glad I'm using a cardboard instead of a ruler. It's just a piece of scrap that I had in my stockpile. And the top part. And I'm going to go underneath the hole. Okay. It's really applying nice and opaque. I like how it's coloring. Nice and solid black. Okay. Uh-oh. See? I knew that was going to happen. So I'm going to go a little bit farther down with it. I'm going to use a different area that's not wet with black. Nice and juicy markers. These are absolutely juicy. All right. we're going to put this aside to dry. All right. How long it'll dry? It should be instant. Maybe I missed a spot. And maybe the cardboard is not so accurate. I'm not accurate because my hands are so shaky at times. There we go. I'm surprised I'm keeping it steady. Super. It's really going on. It's applying nicely. All right. I'm going to put this marker aside with it. Okay. And I'll show you after I color everyone in. And sometimes you gotta shake it a little bit. It does have a shaky thingy in there. And you can see the color over here. The colors are over here. And you can see the level of ink that you have left in it, which is nice. I like it that way. Let's see. Yeah, shake before use, cap lightly after use, and then search. Oh, wait a minute. Keep reach at between 0 and 3 years old. So any child under 3 cannot use these. Okay. And so here it is. I'm going to do the outside edge. Oh, that's pretty. That's a pretty color already. Just outlining the edge. Okay. I'm taking the side of the marker, not taking the tip. I'm taking the side of the marker, and I don't want it to smear, so I'm gonna take off this mess, the glue. There we go. And try and turn it around. So, hold on to it like that. The purple turned out really nice and pretty. And then I'm going to put that in the middle. Because it looks like it'll really be nice when it dries. So I'm going to slide it over here and put that marker there. Okay, here we go. So this is, what do I want to do with this? Okay, just be careful when you do that. You don't want to cut yourself. Let's see, that is a fine piece of plastic. And it's a piece of practice anyway, so I'm going to put my initial K. That bright white. Oh my gosh. I want it to be It's not the best K. I could do better, but it's the way it's shaped. It's really hard. Okay. Put that aside to dry. And let's see. All right, we're in 45 minutes in, so we'll see how long this takes to dry. Put my card swatch up there. All right, now, this is probably going to be really tricky. So I am going to use, let's see what this gold will look like against. All right, the orange is out. I'm in between yellow and green. I'm going to use a green. And I'm going to go back with the markers and put the swatches in. But you get the gist of how to create your chart now. All right. So this green will look gorgeous with this against everything else. And, let's see, I don't know if you can see it. Okay. This green will look gorgeous with the orange and the paper, everything. Okay. So now, after I get done with putting the marker on, I have to wait until it dries before I apply my ribbon on the side, or on the inside. Okay. So I am going to start. I'm going to start down here. All right. Let's try and find the number first. 776 is the number. 776. There it is, right here. It just starts the marker as well. Okay. And wait until that dries. The black is already dry in here. Just a little, no, it's almost dry. Let's put it that way. That's almost dry. All right. Now, the marker is started. Always sample it first on a piece of paper or on something to practice with. So you like the color and make sure the color's the right color you want. And I'm going to go over this paper. This is looking so pretty already. Look at that. Those colors pop. Okay. And it's blending in nicely with the paper. It's the right color. My cat's getting into crawly trouble. Okay, I'm not done yet. I have to move a cat. This is him. That's him. Okay. All right. Now I moved him. All right. Okay. The color's coming in. The color is applying really nicely. Nice and opaque. I might have to go a second time, but it's all right. For now, like I said, this is a sample piece. Because it's an experiment. But it covered up that bubbling really nice. When I put that decoupaged that paper on, with Mod Podge. And it's a gloss Mod Podge I used. There we go. See, I don't want those streaks. I'm going to have to come back once it dries to apply it again. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. Let me cover that orange. I don't want that orange to be seen. It's turning out really pretty though. This dries fast. I'm surprised. Uh-oh. It re-wetted it. Okay. So, that takes care of that one. And now, to show you what happened with the other pieces. Okay. There goes the light. All right. In order to show you, that's this color. And it's still a little bit tacky. It's not dry yet. But that's the border on my bookmark. I decided not to put a letter in the middle. I decided to go with simple and basic. And that looks nice. It brings out the whole bookmark with that black. And here's this color. With the rose. That's still probably a little bit on the wet side. And there it is. See that it's right around the edge. Hold on. It's right around here, the edge, the outline of the rose, and I did a dot in the middle. And that's this one. I don't know if I'm doing right reading here right now or not. And then this is the white. And my initial. There you go. Okay. Look at how clear that is. How opaque and crisp and white. That turned out really nice. Now, like I said, these are screw ups and these are just sample pieces. All right. When you use these, do a sample piece first before you put it on to your good piece. All right. And for, and this, let's see, I have to wait until it dries. This is that color. And this is the edges, the edge that I created. It's a pretty green. I'm glad I chose this green versus the yellow. And yes, this is a foil paper. Okay. And this ribbon, I will eventually glue on the inside, like that. And then go around if I'm able to, without it curling up. And most likely it might curl up. So this ribbon might be out of the question because of the angle. I would have to turn it on an angle, and this will pickle. This will bubble. This definitely wrinkle, pickle, or bubble, whatever you want to call it. So I might put something over here to cover this little white it rubbed off some of the paper when I was scraping it. And with that being said, make sure you use your swatch. Test it out first before you use them. Put it on your swatch chart. Test it out on a piece that you don't need, or a practice piece. Okay? And make sure you go to letsresin.com. All right? And check it out. They have a lot of other resin supplies and products, molds, to fit your needs. And thank you very much, Let's Resin, for giving me the opportunity to win this giveaway. I appreciate it very much, and I will be using it in the near future with all my other products that I make from Let's Resin. And with that being said, happy crafting. Crafting's good for the soul, and it's very healing. And enjoy resining. Until then, Kira's Green Country. Have a good day.